Okay, my name is Ryan Moschell, and I'm a HANA somatic educator, and I'm here to teach you how to help yourself. I'm teaching you how to get out of shape. So everyone came tonight with an innate ability to release chronic tension in their body. The shapes that we take on as we age typically turn into chronic tension, pain, things that you feel like you can't get rid of. So that's basically these favorite shapes that you have are on cruise control. It's like an automatic pilot. You don't even know you're doing it. You do them every day, and they start to create problems. So I'd like everybody to do something for me. Please cross your arms. Good. Now, try and cross them the other way and see how it feels. I see some of you can't do it. That's good. The reason is one of them is your favorite. You've gotten really good at that shape, and so why would you do the other one? Now, we are natural shapeshifters. We're constantly moving from standing to laying down to sitting our whole lives and everything in between. The problem comes when we get really good at certain shapes and they limit us from moving to other shapes. We tend to think of those as solutions that used to help us but now start to limit us. That leads into a conversation that's happening within your body, your nervous system. So your brain is talking to your muscles. It's helping you to move. So if I want to take our favorite shape, this wonderful thing we invented to use every day, my muscles help me sit here. The problem is, around 35 years of age, my brain gets really accustomed to this, and it gets a mind of its own. So it starts to keep me in that same shape all the time. Then, once I get used to that shape, it's harder to move from place to place. So it can be a reaction to life, or it can be your environment. So stress, trauma, joy, and even sitting can bring about what we call the elderly posture, which is this, when we start to get up in our back and we think, I need a few minutes for this to, kick in. But those are the chronic muscles that are still having us sit. We're still sitting when we're standing until we have to start fighting our own body. It's like fighting tight clothing. And if you have to work that hard just to get to the bathroom or to the kitchen or into your car, it makes you tired. It makes you feel old. This is eventually what we start to see in the mirror, and we start to see ourselves and identify with the shapes that we've created ourselves. So these shapes become who we are because we think they're permanent. Most of the time, they're not. You can learn how to get out of these shapes, but you have to do it yourself. As an educator, I help people get there, I guide them, but you have to do the work. This process takes into account what cats and dogs do every time they get up. Now, this is not a stretch. It is called a pandiculation. When you stretch, you pull away. And what happens is the brain pulls back. But if you deeply contract and slowly release like they're doing, you can actually talk to the brain and it will reset those shapes. This is what happens most of the time. We play tug of war with the brain. We're constantly pulling back and forth. The brain wins most of the time. So what you do is you talk to the brain nicely, diplomatically with a pandiculation. That is at the heart of HANA somatics, the pandicular response. But this is how you learn it, a system of learning how to move. Movement is your first language, but you relearn it in a new way. With that, you get to talk to your nervous system and reset your movements, or your shapes. So why am I up here? I'm up here because this works. Not enough people know about this. We need this to be integrated into the medical system. Instead of a pill, go lay on the floor and do your movements. And a good story that I have is a client who had 15 years of chronic back pain. Her whole life revolved around her back, her family, her friends, everything was about her back. She tried PT, acupuncture, foam rollers, she did it all except for surgery. And it limited her whole life until she learned how to move somatically. She was my client and she stopped seeing me as a massage therapist because she got better. So not good for business, but good for her. So over time, this empowerment gave her the ability to know that she could do all the things she couldn't do. She was literally housebound most of the time. She ran a 5K, eventually started a kayak, and after 3 years, hiked the Grand Canyon with her family. Sent me a text message and said, I did it. It's because I can release it on my own. Chokes me up. This needs to be known. It needs to be common knowledge. Healthcare workers need to teach people this. Once you learn it, it's yours for the rest of your life. This is a paradigm shift. It's different from everything that's been done. And in life, shape happens. There's nothing you can do about it. So what you do is you prepare yourself. When a shape happens, you learn how to release it like a cat or a dog, and you can come back to free movement and basically defy the myth of aging. Thank you.